All right, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to need this time around for this assignment is you're going to need a pencil, hopefully that sharpens. I got to find my sharpener. Or if you can't find a sharpener, you can always use a mechanical pencil for this one. That is fine too. You should probably have an eraser, and you need a shoe. You want a shoe that has a little bit of detail to it. So don't just pick like a high heel. You want something that has some of the seams, something that has laces. You all recognize my shoe that I live in. So, I have put some white paper back behind my shoe because it's kind of dark in my drawing space. So you want to make sure that you can see all the details. Now, when you are looking at your shoe, I want you to look at it kind of the way you would like a shoe stock photo. Kind of like this, at a little bit of an angle. Don't try to draw your shoe like this. It's going to be really challenging right now. And don't like draw the bottom, or don't like draw it straight down. You kind of want to start, at least with this shoe drawing, you want to draw kind of at this angle here. So no back views, no bottom views, no top views. Regular kind of side view. Like just a little bit of angle so you can see some of this stuff in here. So you're going to set this up so that you can see it from that angle, which if you're sitting down and you don't have to videotape it, is pretty much just sitting in front of you on the table. I'm kind of got mine kind of angled here just so you guys can see it. Then what you are going to do is you're going to do a contour drawing. Now, just like you talked about the blind contour with our artist this week, and you did a blind contour drawing before doing this one. Now what you're doing is you're going to do not a blind contour, but a contour drawing. So you're going to draw all the outside edges with all those bumps and lumps. Now realize the upside down drawing that we drew was also a contour drawing. See how the lines in his clothing are not perfectly straight. They kind of have bumps and lumps. They go in and go out. Contour lines are detailed. So you are doing a detailed line drawing just like you would see this. Nice, long, continuous lines with details. Now you can start by being kind of sketchy. So this is not a final drawing yet. You might use this as a reference next week when we move on with some more shoe drawings. But today I just want to see how, I just kind of want to see what you can do on your own. So I want you to look. Please do not put your shoe on the paper and trace it. Like we all know how to trace. Remember, these activities are teaching you how to draw. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of start with some sketchy lines. You can draw it, if you have a piece of paper that's the size of your shoe, you can draw it exactly the same size. So then you could go like, this is this big and this is this big. My shoe's kind of big and my paper's kind of small. So I'm going to have to shrink mine just a little bit. So I'm kind of getting the basic shape. But see how I'm kind of curving? I'm keeping my lines nice and light. I hope you can see this. I'll bring it up closer once I've got a little bit more done. So you're just kind of drawing. And if you look at me, I am looking at my shoe. I am not looking at my drawing. I am glancing at my drawing and then looking at my shoe and seeing if what I did was right. So I'm glancing up and glancing down. Just like if you watched during that slow-mo video or the time-lapse video for the contour drawing, I did the same thing there. So I looked up. Remember, your brain thinks it knows what a shoe looks like. Does your brain know what a shoe looks like? No. Your brain does not know what a shoe looks like. It thinks it does, so that needs to be a little higher. So this isn't quite a blind contour because I'm still looking, and I'm looking at things like this line here needs to connect. So if that line there needs to connect, let's draw it. There's a line here. And you see now I'm starting to get a little darker. So now I'm doing the spaces inside. If you've got a other kind of shoe, you could draw the sides on it. This piece here comes up. I'm drawing my laces. Now one thing you should notice, and there's a lace that comes down here. When I'm drawing my laces, am I drawing them as a line? And I'm going to bring this up here so you can see. Am I drawing these laces as a line? No, I'm drawing them as a shape. all of these things are shapes. You need to look at what shapes they're making. Just like we did with the contour drawings, you're going to look line to adjacent line, space to adjacent space. You're going to look at those negative spaces where stuff isn't. You're going to draw. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me in regular time do this. I'm going to do another slow-mo that I'll stick in right here. But right now, that's how I want you to start. Now, a couple of things before I set you go. Realize mine's probably going to look better than yours. I've been doing this a lot longer, so it's okay if yours doesn't look this good, but I will even admit mine isn't perfect. Looking back on it, there are size issues and there are some space issues, but it's got most of it, and it's pretty good because I was looking very closely. But see how, like, right in here, it's a little too, this section here is too big, and this section here is a little too small, because this and this should be the same size and they're not. So, and then this thing here isn't quite the right shape. So even mine is not perfect, and it's okay. For today, I just want you to improve a little bit on what you would have done otherwise. So I want you to take the time, take the 10-15 minutes, maybe even a little longer, to draw your shoe the best you can. So everyone has a shoe, so I don't want an excuse that you don't have shoes. Even if your shoe's a little simpler than a tennis shoe, that's okay, but try to use like your gym shoes or a pair of Converses or a pair of Nikes, any kind of athletic kind of shoe that has those laces and those details. Just don't use like a high heel because it's a little too simple. Okay, so that is your assignment. Now that you have done all 3 drawings, submit this. Take a photograph of this drawing. Once again, just like the other 2, take a drawing with your hand for scale right on the corner, and then submit it and then answer the questions on the artist statement.